Hi everybody, and welcome to my channel, A Magical Life with Ayla. I'm Ayla, and today we're going to talk about altars. So let's get started. So the first thing that I want to say about altars is how very important they are to your magic. The altar, your altar, is the focal point for your magic. Each one of the things that you put on your altar is loaded with energy. It's loaded with energy of its own. So each stone that you put on your altar has its own energy. Each color that you put on your altar has its own energy. But also, the personal items that you put on your altar have its own energy based on what that item means to you. So today, we're going to talk about just altars in general. What we have coming up Friday is we have a healing video coming. And in that healing video, we're going to use an altar. Today we're going to talk about just altars in general. So before you put your altar together, you're going to have to make some decisions about some things. So I live in a very small space. And so what I have is what I call a portable altar. So it's on a little tray that looks like this. Can you see the little ornate design in there? How cute is that? Of course, you don't see it once I get the altar put together, but this is probably about 12 inches in diameter, and it is the perfect size for the little cubby hole that it sits in on our table. Like I said, we live in a very small space, and so the place that we sit in most is at our table. So we can't have the altar in the center of the table because we need to work on our computers, we need to eat, and so we need to have the altar off a ways, but accessible. So let me show you the little cubby hole that we have. See, it sits right here, kind of off a ways, and it's out of the way, but it's right there. So when I get ready to do my altar work, I light candles and I burn incense. It's right there. Okay, so the next thing that I put on my altar is I like altar cloths. I like a lot of altar cloths. And so one of the things that I do is I go to Joann's and I get fabric. Now, this is one of my favorites. It's all stained and burnt and everything, but see, it's got leaves in it, kind of like a viney type of leaf. See a little burn mark there? That's one of my favorites. I cut this out. I'm not really sure. I think I used a small pie pan to make the circle with, and then I zigzag the edges. And I don't do any more preparation than that. And then here's a square one. This is a square one. Same thing. Zigzagged edges. Okay. And this one's green, so it goes with the little circle one really well. And then I have another one of contrasting color, and another green one, solid green one, just like the other one, but it's a different color. So you can use anything for an altar cloth, anything. You can use a pillowcase for an altar cloth if that's all you have. Or if you have, somebody gave you a piece of fabric, and I've had that happen to me before, and no way to finish the edges to mention. And so I just used it. I used it the way it was. Pulled off a few of the loose strings and used it the way it was. Okay, So the next thing is going to be in the centerpiece of your altar is going to be some sort of representation of God, however you see God. Now for me, God is source energy. God is all of the gods and goddesses. God is all of the angels. God is angels, dragons, fairies, and guides. Okay. God is children. God is other adults. God is the planet. So I have this very all-inclusive vision of what God is. And so the way that I represent God on my altar is with this right here. This is a 4-inch crystal ball. Okay, William bought this for me for one of my birthdays a while back. And this sets on this little thing I bought from a craft store. Okay, it sits just like this in the center of my altar. And this represents God in all of its forms. This represents the universe. This represents all there is. Okay, so that's very important to me, that I have something in the middle of my altar. Some people have God and Goddess candles. Some people have God and Goddess statues, and some people just have the goddess in the middle of their altar, and that's okay. Whatever you choose is okay. I made this up for myself. I made up this representation and the meaning of this for myself. Okay, so that's going to set center stage in your whatever you choose to be the representation of the universe is going to sit right in the center of your altar. Now, we want to, because on this path we kind of deify the directions and the directions in the elements. Okay, so the directions are north, east, south, and west. The elements are earth, air, fire, and water. One of the things that William got for me was this. It's a compass, and this goes on my altar. Someplace on my altar, any place on my altar is fine. And this helps me to, I'm a little directionally challenged, and it's very important when you're setting up your altar to know which direction everything goes in. This helps a lot. And so once I get my altar all set up, I set this in someplace on my altar to honor the directions. Okay. The elements are honored by two ways that I do this on my altar. Is I have these, I can't turn this one up so you can see the inside of it. This one's green on the inside, so it looks like this. And it's green on the inside. That's sand that I have in there. And this represents air. Okay. This represents water, so it's blue. It's got this cute little design on the outside. And this one represents the fire, and it's got this cute. And let me tell you about these cups. I found these cups at one of the stores, and this is the Prairie Woman collection, part of that. And I don't think they have them anymore, but they might have something similar. I walked into the store one day. I was actually looking for something, whatever, that could sit on the altar to hold things. And I came across these, and I thought they were, even for my little tiny altar, these are the perfect size. So what I put in the red cup is a candle. And I use the little tea lights that you see every place. They're like $100 for $5, so they're not expensive, and they're the perfect size. I fill the blue one up with water. The green one has like I said, has sand in it that I collected the last time we went to the coast. And which one am I missing? The yellow one. What? The yellow one, I put a incense, a little round incense burner. You got that little incense burner? A little round incense burner that I bought at Sound Peace in Ashland. Okay, so when I'm using stick incense, I just put this right in here, so it looks like that. Okay, and then I can put my stick incense. And because this is more suited to heat, if I was going to burn a cone, I would go ahead and set the cone in that. Put this up where you can see it. I'd go ahead and just leave this like this and put the cone inside of it. The sage stick. So what I wind up burning most of the time is a sage stick. Okay, and so I leave the little heat treated little thing in there, and I light this, and then I can just lay it like that. Okay, I'm going to do another video on incense because there are crazy options for incense. I mean, you have so many choices, and you can do whatever you want on your altar. In addition to the elements in the corners, what I like to put on my altar are personal items. I have a little handful of rocks that I collected at the ocean the last time we went. And so I put those with the cup, with the sand in it. And these, you know, I picked these because they were from the ocean. It doesn't really have a lot to do with, oh, and here's I think this is called a desert rose crystal. I can't remember what this is called. I think it's a desert rose. That's a crystal, and then more rocks from the ocean. And so that was a special trip. That was a trip that me and William took, and William is one of my best friends, and so I gathered up those rocks, and those rocks go on my altar. You can find a little pentacle. I have this great big huge pentacle that I use. This pentacle belongs to my friend Todd, and it was made out of clay. I think we made this in a magic school class, but this is too big for my little altar. So what I found is I had bought this from Amazon, and that's Freya. She wanted to say hi. So I bought this from Amazon, and it's the perfect size for my little altar. So I just put this. It's too big for me to wear. I don't like to wear such large jewelry, but it's perfect for my altar. So I put this as the pentacle on my altar. So that's easy enough, right? If you have any questions, please comment below because I would love to answer your questions. And I'm going to put, and also in Athame and wand. So these have directions, okay? So the wand, goes in the east for air, and the Athame goes in the south for fire. And then let me see the chalice. Okay, I think I'm getting confused here. So the chalice holds water and goes in the west. Yes, the chalice holds water and goes in the west, and the Athame goes in the east because it's air, and this is our logic. Okay, the wand always goes in the south for intuition and passion and inspiration, and then the little pentacle that I showed you goes in the north. So in addition to the little cups, these little things, and these are too large for mine, so I have to set the whole altar up and then kind of lay them where they will fit. Okay, so those are the tools. I almost forgot about the tools. Thank goodness William's here. So I'm going to show you guys what it looks like all put together. And if you have any questions, please comment below and like and subscribe this channel and tell your friends. And have a wonderful day, and we will see you next time for a healing video. Okay, so here is our finished altar. Now this is my little tiny micro altar from my small space, and as you see, I have everything on here I talked about. So we have water in the west, okay, and we have a chalice and we have a bowl of water, and then in the north we have sand to represent earth and some rocks and the little silver pentacle, and then over to the east with the air. Okay, today I've chose to just light my sage stick and lay it in the bowl. Other days I do different stuff depending on how I'm feeling. This right here is William's, let me show you. This is William's little Viking boat. And it holds granules of, it either holds salt or granules of incense, and it's got a little spoon that dips, and the thing that's laying in it, I'm sure you're wondering about the thing that's laying in it, that's a pendulum, okay? And then you can see the wand. I told you the wand was too big, so we just laid on top, and the Athame crystal ball, okay? And see the pretty, you can't see the pretty covers. William put this altar together, and so this is how, and he was able to put this together. Anybody can put this together because this is just a general everyday altar, okay? And there you have it.